Hello, welcome back. Alright. So, Jean Grey became the Phoenix. Essentially, the Phoenix came to her and said, I can grant you your greatest desire. Which, of course, her greatest desire was to save, the X-Men. And thus the two of them became Phoenix. This is where things get a little. All right, so the Phoenix wrapped itself in a wrapped Jean in a cocoon-like structure, and emerged as the Phoenix we know from the comic books. Jean's continued her relationship with Scott. Jean Grey now calling herself, Phoenix. Phoenix. It was more like a split personality. Jean Grey lived one life. Phoenix lived another. However, this stone, the Makar crystal, which somehow affected the Phoenix, got corrupted and thus created the Dark Phoenix. And this doesn't help that also that the Hellfire Club tried to capture the Phoenix so that they could corrupt Phoenix as well. Now the Phoenix commits suicide on the moon. Due to the horrific things that she has done. She killed a lot of people. And thus, Phoenix, or Jean Grey, awoken on a white tower, dressed in the white Phoenix outfit. Now, there are three different Phoenix outfits. There's the good Phoenix, the green Phoenix outfit. There is the red Phoenix outfit, which is the evil Phoenix outfit. And then there's the white Phoenix outfit, which hasn't really been explained yet. Or at least I haven't found any place that's explained it. Any case, this is where she meets Death, who is a cosmic construction worker. I'm not making this up. Any case, she talks to Death and says, why am I not dead? And Death says, I don't know, help me build this tower. So she says, okay, and helps him build this gigantic tower, which will become a home for the victims of the Phoenix Force. So Jean Grey then starts talking to Death, and Death tells her that she is the avatar for the Phoenix, because their spirits are entwined. She has a lot in common with the Phoenix, and thus they will always be together. Now, also, while this is going on, Mr. Sinister is making his Jean Grey clone, which somehow has a small snippet of the Phoenix power. Now, many months later, after Jean Grey supposedly died, Jean is found by the Avengers and was brought to the Fantastic Four to study. And then a little while after that, she broke out. She got out of she awoken. She was awoken, but I can't talk today. And she didn't really remember anything about the Phoenix or anything really. And the Avengers and the Fantastic Four help her remember, and then she remembers all the horrible things that she did as the Phoenix. By this time, her telepathic powers were gone, but her telekinesis powers were back and stronger than ever. Now, when she got back and she realized that, Scott is married to this Madeline Pryor. Looks a lot like me. Oh well. And she returns with the original X-Men and is a little disturbed because there's a lot of anti-mutant sentiment at this point, and they are now working alongside with Magneto, who was, you know, a good guy at this point. More on that later. Now, here's the thing. Excuse me. She and the other original members of the X-Men make the X Factor. While this was going on, Jean Grey's clone starts, you know, having some experiences with the Phoenix Force and goes a little crazy and becomes known as the Goblin Queen, and you know she has goblins. So the two, Marvel Girl and Goblin Queen, have it out, and ultimately Jean Grey wins and kills, you know, Goblin Queen. Jean Grey's telepathic abilities return after battling with some villain. I don't know how to pronounce this or something like that. And also when Charles Xavier returns from his time with the Shi'ar Empire. And it was, as stated in the Cyclops review, she and Scott Summers get married and then have, on their honeymoon, are removed from their bodies and take care of their Scott's son for a few years. Now, during the Onslaught incident, more of her Phoenix Force powers start coming back. Oh, no, excuse me. She was confronted by Onslaught. Excuse me, I'm jumping ahead here. That he could regain, you know, the Phoenix Force again and show, you know, how to do it. She says no, and then finally kind of agrees, and she starts regaining. During the zero tolerance era, of mutants, she starts recovering her Phoenix abilities. And one of the things that she starts doing is that she starts wearing the costume again. She starts training her telekinesis to take on the fiery appearance of a phoenix, which just scares Scott Summers a lot, but she keeps telling him, don't worry, I'm just training myself, and that's nothing to do with it. Now, once again, Apocalypse, well, I've mentioned this 2 other times, and I'm just gonna over it. You know, she believes that Scott Summers is not really dead, and it turns out that he isn't, and, you know, saves him. And that's it for this section. I'm going to end it right here, and we'll get back right after it. So take it easy, guys. All right, welcome to part 3 of Jean Grey. I knew this was going to be a huge mess, but I didn't realize how much. If I get stuff wrong, I apologize. But Jean Grey's, once again, backstory is really this backstory of 2 different characters. So, yeah. In any case, Jean Grey, there comes a point in Jean Grey and Psylocke have to switch bodies for some reason. And when this happens, Psylocke or Jean Grey somehow gets, loses her telekinesis, but has her telepathic, and develops telepathic raptors. Like, not raptors like Jurassic Park, but like, you know, birds.